There was once a quiet little village, nestled right at the edge of a vast, ancient forest. The villagers there lived simple lives. They worked hard, they cared for one another, and they found joy in the small, beautiful things like the earthy scent of rain on dry soil, or the soft, warm glow of a perfect sunset. In this village lived a young boy named Eli. He was a good kidnist, gentle, and filled with a natural curiosity about the world. But deep inside, Eli carried a silent, heavy burden. He was always, constantly, comparing himself to others. When he saw his classmate Noah win every single race at school, he'd think to himself, if only I were faster. When his friend Clara aced every test and got top marks, he'd let out a quiet sigh, I'll never be that smart. And when he watched his neighbor build a big, beautiful house and wear fine new clothes, Eli would mutter under his breath, why can't I be as successful as him? Every time someone else achieved something, Eli felt a little smaller, a little less significant. He started to see his own life as dull and unimportant. Even when he did well at something, it just never felt like it was enough. Slowly but surely, he began to lose his love for the little things he once enjoyed. Like gazing up at the stars on a clear night, helping his mother tend to her garden, or just sitting by the river listening to its gentle rhythmic flow. One warm afternoon, as Eli sat slumped by the village well, lost in his gloomy thoughts, an old gardener named Samuel happened to walk by. Everyone in the village admired Samuel. His garden was a breathtaking explosion of colors. His smile was as warm as the summer sun, and his words always seemed to carry a gentle, profound wisdom. Seeing the deep sadness in Eli's eyes, Samuel sat down beside him. "My boy," he said softly, his voice full of kindness, "what troubles you?" Eli hesitated for a moment, then the words came pouring out. "I work hard, Samuel, I really do. But whenever I see others doing better than me, I feel so small. It feels like no matter how hard I try, I'll never be good enough." Samuel listened quietly, his gaze steady, and then he nodded. "I see," he said. "Tomorrow morning, meet me at the old forest path. There's something I want to show you." The next morning, the forest was bathed in a soft, golden light as Eli arrived. Samuel was already there, leaning on his sturdy walking stick. Without a word, he led Eli deep into the woods, to a place where trees of all kinds grew together in a beautiful, chaotic harmony. There were towering oaks, slender fruit trees, graceful willows, and sturdy pines. "Look around," Samuel said, his voice a gentle hum. "What do you see?" Eli looked carefully, taking it all in. "So many trees," he answered. "Some are tall and some are short. Some are full of fruit, while others have none. Some stand perfectly straight, and others bend and twist in strange ways." Samuel smiled. "Now, imagine if the apple tree looked up at the mighty oak and complained, 'Why am I not as tall and strong as you?' Or if the oak tree sighed and said, 'I wish I had sweet, delicious fruit like the apple tree.' How would that sound to you?" Eli couldn't help but laugh. "It would sound ridiculous," he said. Samuel nodded, his eyes twinkling. "Exactly. But, my boy, isn't that what we humans do every single day? We forget that just like these trees, we each have our own purpose. The apple tree gives fruit. The oak tree gives shade. Each one has its own place, its own reason for being, its own unique beauty. The forest would lose its incredible harmony if every single tree tried to be the same." They walked a little further until they came to a calm, clear pond. Colorful fish glided gracefully just beneath the water's surface, and high above them, a bird soared effortlessly across the bright blue sky. Samuel pointed, first to the water, then to the sky. "Tell me," he asked, "what would happen if that fish spent its entire life wishing it could fly?" Eli thought for a moment. It would be miserable, he realized. It would completely forget how to swim. "Right," Samuel affirmed. "And what if that bird spent all its time wishing it could swim deep underwater? It would lose the pure joy of flying." Eli nodded slowly, the simple but powerful message beginning to sink in. Samuel placed a warm, reassuring hand on his shoulder. "My boy, you are like one of these trees, like the fish and the bird. You were created with your own special gifts, your own path to walk, and your own timing. Stop looking at what others are doing. Focus on discovering what you were meant to do and then do it with your whole heart. From that day on, something inside Eli changed. He stopped measuring his worth against others and started to appreciate his own unique journey. He began to notice the beauty in the small things again, the sound of his friends' laughter, the warm glow of the morning sun, the quiet steady strength in his own two hands. He still worked hard, but this time, it wasn't about trying to outshine everyone else. It was about becoming the best possible version of himself. Years passed. Eli grew into a skilled and respected craftsman. His work became known far and wide, not just for its beauty and precision, but for the heart he poured into it. People admired his patience, his kindness, and his calm, centered spirit. And whenever someone would ask him, "Eli, what's your secret to success?" he would just smile and say, "A fish doesn't need to fly, and a bird doesn't need to swim. The sun and the moon do unshine at the same time. Yet both of them light up the world in their own magnificent way." The moment I stopped comparing and started appreciating who I am, my life began to bloom. So, remember this story. Your journey is yours and yours alone. Don't ever let someone else's path make you doubt your own. You are not behind, and you are not less than anyone else. You are simply on your way, moving at your own pace, becoming the person you were always meant to be. Stop comparing, start living. Because real success isn't about being better than others, it's about becoming better than you were yesterday. Thanks for watching.